Hi everybody, welcome to Tunes Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Soup de Jour. Beau de Jour by Tom Ford, released in 2019, repackaged in 2020. Keep it tuned. So Beau de Jour was originally a private blend fragrance, as I'm sure most of you have already seen in other reviews, but was re-released in this new packaging in 2020 because it wasn't selling very well, I assume. A lot of these old-fashioned aromatic fragrances really don't do as well in the market today, but for the connoisseurs or some of the older gentlemen, this might be a blast from the past, so to speak, from the 70s and early 80s. And speaking of the packaging, for Tom Ford, which you all know I'm a huge fan, this is my least favorite bottle I've seen him release. I loved the simplicity of the ombre leather, the matte black finish, but this rigid bottle and cap just seems very, very, very cheap. That's okay though. It's all about the juice inside. The 1.7 ounce will run you about $128, and the 3.4 ounce repackage will run you about $180. You can still find the private blend version of this Beau de Jour in the 1.7 ounce, I believe, on Fragrance X and Fragrance Net for around $150 if you want to keep it in line with your other private blend fragrances and have it all in unison. I will say too, there is a slight difference between the two formulations or repackaged, whatever you want to call it. They are slightly different. So to me, this fragrance is mostly lavender, rosemary, basil, and has geranium and mint in it, with a very slight touch of underlying amber, very slight, that gives it a little bit of powderiness and sweetness as it dries down. To me, Beau de Jour is a classic fragrance. It's, to be perfectly blunt, going to be something that I feel like a lot of the younger crowd is not going to gravitate toward. Upon initial spray, it's very metallic. It reminds me a lot of Penhaligon's Sartorial. If you haven't smelled that fragrance, check it out. Very barbershop-esque, very gentlemanly, otherworldly, and a different time when smelling like a man, a clean, fresh suit and tie was really important. But of course, we've pushed the envelope and things change as time goes on for what the imagery is that defines a man. But I do find that this fragrance is not too unisex. It's more masculine in my mind. The opening is very fresh, very herbal. It dries down to an ever so slightly minty geranium concoction with that lavender and metallic accord still lingering about. Beau de Jour is, to me, something that someone around my age, between 25, 35, can wear dressed up with a suit and tie to be impressive to somebody. This is also wonderful for, I think, the 40-plus age gap. Is that right, Matilda? You like Beau de Jour? To me, this fragrance is very casual and could be used as a daily fragrance because it's just very clean and sophisticated. But I think that if you're around my age, again, between 25 and 35, this is something that you would wear to dress up and impress somebody. This is perfect for spring and summer, I think, but not so great for fall and winter. And again, there is a slight difference between this and the private blend version. I think the private blend version had a little bit more sweetness to it and a little bit more oomph, whereas this is a lot lighter on my skin. Not a lot lighter, but initially it's kind of the same. It has that rustic tools in the barbershop and fresh fragrances that are going around in the barbershop, but in the dry down, the original had a little bit more sweetness to it on my skin. Beau de Jour is a wonderful concoction to me. It's classy, it's sophisticated. It's a wonderful addition for anyone that wants something that's going to be a little bit more luxurious for daily wear or something that you can use to dress up. And for me, this is a perfect fragrance for just that. I wouldn't reach for this so often for a regular daily use, but for me, if I want to dress up and impress someone, I would definitely gravitate towards this. And so I'll give this a solid 8 out of 10. The projection and longevity, it's about 6 hours on my skin. Projection's moderate, and the sillage is decent, but it's just not one that I find people in my age range are going to enjoy as much. Either way, definitely get your nose on Beau de Jour. And I also want to add, I am on Instagram. You're going to see the link right here on the video. Well, you're going to see my handle right here on the video, and the link is going to be down below. If you want to keep in touch with me and stay tuned with what I'm wearing on a more regular basis, I do tend to upload on Instagram my scent of the day at least every other day. I had been doing it very regularly daily, but you know, I'm in school and work and whatever, and life happens. But I am on there at least every other day posting. So if you want to check me out there, it is tunes_reviews, and I will see you all on Instagram or YouTube soon. Check you later.